Hello, and welcome back. My name is Jackblade, and this is my channel where we're playing some Satisfactory today. This is the Beginner Series, and we're on episode 18. In the last episode, we set up this. Fuel blenders that are apparently making something completely different. And we will be continuing building our massive oil refinery that will produce, in the end, 50,000 megawatts of power using Turbofuel. So let's get going, and instead of looking at this like oddly satisfying, mesmerizing factory. So yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, so like I said, last time we started with building this. The massive plastic uh, production place that uses recycled rubber or recycled plastic recipe, by turning rubber and fuel into plastic. We set up the sink for that. We pulled in a bunch of logistics. We turned in like a lot more fuel. So there's 2,400 in surplus. Like we're sending in 1,200, I think. What is it? 2 pipes? Yeah, so 1,200 in here. And then the rest is going to up here and are currently being stocked up here so that we have a buffer before the turbo fuel that we'll be making on a line there. So yeah, then I wanted to make like something special for the actual like fuel generation. So I'm like in terms of visuals. So let's see what I actually come up with there. But for now, let's start with setting up our turbo fuel refineries. They're nothing special. If we bring out the blueprint, we'll see that, yeah, I need to go pick up motors and iron rods again. I will probably handcraft a ton of them and just have them in my inventory. But yeah, like, this is a very standard blueprint that we've used versions of before. And like, I'm messing around trying new stuff in terms of like the fluids, in terms of like how to feed them, and how to prevent like problems with the flow rates and like all that kind of stuff. Basically, I'm doing my best to try and make sure that this is as effective as possible and that there's as little or as few problems as possible in the end. So yeah, I'll be setting up these, and we need 96 turbo fuel refineries running at full blast, which means we will need to set up, there's 12 in one of those. So we will set up, what's it called? A bunch of these, and hopefully it will all work out no problem. What I will do is I will start working on that and do some troubleshooting and run the logistics a little bit at least. Like I'll see how far I get, and I'll check in with you guys when I have something new to tell you guys. So let's jump. All right, so we are now recording again, and if we're looking at the like setup here, the way that I've set it, or the way that I've made it, is that there's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 12 here, and it's 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96. Easy as that. And basically I've split it up so that I will stagger the logistics from both directions. So from this direction we will get the compacted coal, and from this direction over there we will get the fuel. So the compacted coal will go in here, and then the fuel will come in for the other direction. With the goal of then making the factory 100% efficient. And if we look at what they use, they're gonna need, we have this, we're perfectly well aware they got this, but 22.5, go 22.5 times 96, we need 2,160 fuel to run this whole thing. If we go 2,160 divided by 4, 540, which means that each line here being 600 even means that we have a perfect like compensation for any like technically like flow rate issue that might pop up here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to run the logistics. It's going to go down here. There's going to be a lot of it. And then this is going to come in and go. I'm probably going to run this on top of the first layer. Or no, sorry. What I'm going to do is actually run the output here on the bottom down to this end. And I'm going to run these, what's it called? I'm going to run these, the compacted coal on top of those output pipes. And then I'm going to run the fuel at the highest point. So it's going to be output on bottom. Got something in my throat. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I don't know what happened there. It was like I got a piece of like dust or something in my throat. Okay, so bottom is output, and then the next level is compacted coal input, and then the top level is the fuel input from that direction. So, and then I will probably collect the fuel out here, because I'm planning on having the actual like generators here, I think. I'm not exactly sure how I'll set that up for now. I haven't made the blueprint yet. Sorry, I have made the blueprint. Yeah, the blueprints are made, but I haven't tested them yet, so I'm not sure that they are actually viable or any good to use. So I'm going to start running this in, and we will see how it turns out in the end. All right, so we're back. We got the pipes running, and like I said, they're running staggered. I haven't actually hooked this up. Let's do that. There we go. And now we have all of it here doing its thing. If we keep going down this end, you'll see we are now running power in. And that means that everything now, if we got the fuel, would be working. But it is not. Why is it not? It's because we haven't opened these. So that's what I want to do now. I'm gonna go ahead and go boom. 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 And finally, kaboom. And with that, we have fuel going in. So we should see fuel being pumped in here. Come on. We have flow happening. Awesome. And I've basically been making sure that everything is hooked up properly. As you can see, like I said, it's staggered. So the outer lines, they go down and they hook up half of these. And then on the other end, the rest is hooked up to these guys. Making sure that everything gets fed by a pure 600 line of fuel. So what I'm just waiting for now is for stuff to, like you can see, it's like starting up and like it's puffing a little bit, but it's not really there yet. That's because we are waiting for the fuel to fill up proper. And that's basically, as you can see, like flow rate is going full. It's going full, going full, going full. So all I'm waiting for now is the fuel to get in and start making a little bit. Meanwhile, I will show you guys what I've made over here. And this here is a really funny, just visual thing that I wanted to make. I knew I wanted to have like a big, like, collection of turbo fuel as a surplus thing. And what I then wanted to have is like, okay, now we have this coming in, and we have the like all of this coming in and getting like pumped up, and then like I knew I wanted to save all of it up, but I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting because here's something fun. these stack on top of each other. Yeah, I need more plastic. I ran out of everything building these. But yeah, basically what I've done now is make sure that once the power is turned on, all of these tanks, yeah, I need to open the valves here too, I think. Yeah. So as we can see, this isn't full yet, and that's what I want to do, because that will force these three to share and be full 600 pipes, which is kind of what we need. So and then we are now just waiting for some of this stuff to get filled up, and that takes a while, because if we look at everything, they are not, like, the pumps here might not be strong enough. I don't know. Let's look at the pumps. Are you guys pumping here? You guys are pumping. You're pumping full 600, which means that it's literally just about the pipes filling up. What I'm gonna do is now cut so that we get back here once the pumps are properly pumping. The fluid buffers are now full, so my idea is to now open these valves, and it should give us a even 600 on each, which means that these three separate towers will get full kind of at the same time. But aside from that, because it goes up, and I'll show you, like, it goes up all the way up here, right? And then here it splits, and if you look here, it goes in on this end, comes out and goes down, and then in, comes in, goes down, comes in, goes down, like over and over again. That's just the nature of this. So then at the end, here at the bottom, you can see on all three ends, it comes out, and it's collected here. It's in 3 pipes that we'll be using to feed our very, very nice Turbofuel burning generators. And let's be clear, this isn't like necessarily like unique or anything like that, but like I said, I can't put in all the time to make all of the factory look super nice and everything, because I want to have as much done as possible before 1.0. This is my only way of having anything done at all that is kind of like, okay, there's a visual element to this by using like diagonal foundations here. I could make a little bit, like if we look from up top, it's like a little bit of a nice shape, almost like a Superman shield. Not really, but like almost. And having these industrial foundation or frame foundations that are like linked up with this, I mean, giving us some kind of like structural support looking feeling, and like all that kind of, like, that's stuff that I want to have in, and I want to develop a lot more of this stuff when I'm going in and playing with you guys for 1.0. So yeah, right now all we're doing is we are pumping so much turbo fuel right now so that it fills these up in sequence, hopefully. So if we look on the bottom one, it should be the one that is filling up first. Doesn't look like it. That might spell some trouble for later, but for now we don't really have time to look at that. I got delayed. A bunch of work came up, so I haven't been able to record and get the episode out today the way that I normally do. It's Thursday for me. And then I will make the rest of the episode tomorrow, Friday, and upload tomorrow, so that it is up like yeah, I'm trying to have it up at the latest like 6 Central European Standard Time. But it might be even later than that, depends on how much time the edit and like making the rest of the episode takes. But I'm going to do my absolute best to get an episode out for you guys. So yeah, we will continue on. This will fill up while I am testing and making sure that the blueprint works for the fuel generation, and we will set that up. So let's skip on over to the next step of this a little bit ahead of time when I am done with the setup of the generators. We can just turn them on. Alright, we have everything set up. These are full now, which is really cool. That should also give you a sense of like the time it's taken to fix all of this. And then what we ultimately came up with is this. We have 3 lines of this monstrosity of like fuel generators, where the pipes come in from underneath, kind of breaking my own rule. For like I made an episode in the tips and tricks series that talked about like fluid dynamics and stuff. This is definitely breaking my own rules there. But like I said in that episode as well, like the design plans and everything that I have for a lot of the stuff in this series wasn't aware of the stuff that I'm aware of now that has set those rules in place. So this might have a lot of problems that it wouldn't have if I were more careful about certain things in the design phase. For example, if I had taken all the oil and instead of pumping it in here and starting working with it here, if I'd kept pumping it up to this point and then from there start working my way down and create the rubber at the top and then going down one level to create the fuel and to create like take the heavy oil and make the fuel and like the water the same thing, got taking that up to this point, so that you start from the top and you build down with fuel because gravity affects liquids. It's super dumb to do it the way that I have, and I don't recommend that. I highly recommend, I'm gonna put it as a card popping up around here that will actually like send you to that video. Hopefully that will help. If you are having problems with your fluid dynamics, look that up. There's also great advice from other people in the comment section to that video. Stuff that I haven't thought about that I missed or that I don't feel comfortable talking about because I don't feel like I'm an authority on those specific methods. So yeah, definitely something to check out. But yeah, we have put up 100. There's actually 135 fuel generators here to create like an even split of the fuel between everything, so that I don't have to mess around with that. All of them are fully overclocked and will create 375 what's it called, megawatts. So ultimately we will have 50,625 megawatts being produced by this. That is like, it is crazy how large this is. And what I will do now is basically hook up the pipe so we can see how it all looks like when it starts running. So let's go to that and just hook everything in. Bada boom. And bada boom. And let's paint these in so that they are the right color. And oh, I run this the wrong direction. Duh. I'm dumb. And here we go. Let's go like so. I haven't like I'm going to do this actually. Here we go. And I'm going to set the priority power switch here later. But for now, I just want to see this running. Because you can see like it started and it's not going super well, right? That is because the lowest points of the pipes fill up first and then it moves up, right? So that's why if I had reversed this and this was coming down to these fuel generators, we would actually have a way faster acting like factory. But so as it stands right now, we're literally, like you can see here as well, I'm gonna show you what this is in a second. But basically, here's what's happening is the different fuel generators are now turning on, and they're going to like drastically increase until they start filling up, just like any other manifold. And what we will have in the end is an even production of 50,625 megawatts. Yeah, this is very nice. All right. So you can see this as it goes down. That's because it's not stable. So it gets a bit of fuel in. It can run for one cycle, and then it dips down because it doesn't have enough fuel to keep running. So we're going to see this very jagged, like mountain line of a graph being made. Because as look here, as things turn on, they also turn off sometimes. Right? So we can just follow the line down here. As it chugs along here. You can see there is one further down that was working a little bit, and then I stop. It's because they're running out of fuel. No power. Doesn't have enough fuel. So it's just waiting for that fuel to come in and help it run properly. But like I said, it's a manifold. It's going to take a little bit before it is fully up and running. And then for that other mechanic, if you look here in the background, you can see that I have actually power storages. There's a lot of them. And ultimately, each of these can store 100 megawatt hours, which means that it can run like, either it can run like 100 megawatts for 1 hour or 1 megawatt for 100 hours. But if we then look like here, the production we have now is like running in, and it will store 46,800 megawatts hours. And so that's basically what we're trying to do now, is like have a buffer of power in case something goes down in our power network. This is still saving a lot of power so that we can just keep running while we fix the problem. This is super important, especially later, and we will have a larger version of this. This is just like the start of it, that has like all the power that we need in case like the fuel or nuclear power melts down or something like that. We need to start fixing stuff, or we've made a mistake somewhere. So yeah, as you can see now, it keeps going up, and it's gonna keep going up. So I will literally just like keep an eye on this and see as it builds up, and I will bring you guys back in once I've found it stable enough that we can look at the full capacity of it. Okay, so I will be right back. See, we're running 50,625 megawatts of production, and we are stable. It's going, and we're charging, as you can see, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And basically, when this is stored, we will have 46,800 megawatt hours stored up as a precaution, safety precaution, in case we need some extra power. And then what's left to do now for this whole thing? Like I said, we don't really have time to set up and do all the prettification and like all that kind of stuff. Sadly not. I think I would be able to make this look insane if I spent the time, but we will spend that time on other more fun stuff. Or fun. We're now going to be doing like troubleshooting. So, like as you can see, like a lot of these are yellow, and I need to figure out why. Like they're not getting the fuel pumped in fast enough, even though they should be able to, with a wide margin. So it's like weird that they are not being able to do that. So what I will do is I will actually go through and I will troubleshoot all of our lines and making sure that they work properly. So I will be right back, and I will show you guys what I have found when I have troubleshot, trouble pew pew for a little bit, and hopefully it's not too much or too egregious or like is threatening the stability of the power generation in the first place. So I'll be right back in a little bit and see what I found. I have been troubleshooting, and while it has been running stable most of the time, I put in this priority power switch, by the way, and started running power out because it started like failing the power like stuff. But yeah, like just loaded up the save again. Like it's Friday now, and I've been continuing troubleshooting. Then there has been a few things, I would say. I've put in pumps here because I started having like backflow problems out from here. I should have seen that coming, considering like that's a lower point, right? So yeah, I've done that. On top of that, I've added in a bunch of these valves. I don't like having to do that. And another thing that I've learned that is apparently a big problem, there was literally a comment that showed up today, was that some of this stuff, like you can see how if I hover over this and it marks it, it is now running straight into that. That's because I placed this valve on top of a pre-existing pipe. That is bad, and it causes throttling in the pipes. So, and I know that this is a lot of work, but I basically have to go through and remove the pipe and place it back in, like so. So that now if you look at it, it actually starts where it's supposed to start. Same thing here, I need to remove this, and then go down here to this and run a new pipe up here. So that it starts where it's supposed to and stops where it's supposed to. And I basically have to go through and do that with every single valve in this entire factory. Because I tend to place valves and junctions, both of them have this problem, so that they start and end in the wrong place. I have done it right here for some reason, but then if we look like over here, the pipe runs into, you can see that it's running into like half of this, right? That's bad. I don't want that, so I need to actually remove all of these and then place them back in so that the throttling doesn't happen. Same thing on this side. Right. Boom. Change all of this up so that it actually functions the way it should. And now this is a section fixed, but I have to go through and fix so many pipes. And I'm not going to be doing that in this episode. I'm going to do that between episodes. But I'm gonna go through the other things that I've found that I've fixed. Number one, I started having a backflow problem over here. With this, so like in this section here. So I've placed in these to solve some of that. And a great indicator for whether or not like this was working well or not was whether or not these were emptying. So if you look, like this is full, this is full, this however is not, which means that I only have this as a buffer right now, and then the rest of these are running on empty, essentially. And I have to basically make sure that at the end of this, these are filling back up. Because that is the indicator for whether or not I will have infinite turbo fuel to run all of these. So yeah, I have to basically fix that. I have also gone through here, like, and I had trouble getting these to actually work efficiently. So I added in a few pumps to prevent backflow and like get flow to work properly through here. And they are now running a proper 600 meters cubed, and they are actually working like well enough that there is a surplus of turbo fuel for these pipes. So if I look at the outflow, it is actually going very well. And basically I have to do a lot of work to make sure that all of this works again, basically. I might even need to like shut down this section and start over in terms of like filling the pipes up and getting like if I get this, then everything flows in and these are all full and then I start them, they're going to be efficient. But now that they are partly empty, if we look over here, these have just stopped because they're full, right? But if some of these are like don't have enough fuel, like I saw some of them having that problem. Okay, they don't seem to have that problem now. But basically, like, I need to make sure that, like, okay, if these are full, they go out. What's the problem then over here? Why is there no... like, that one's having 600, this one is having 600, and this one is having 600. How are they having 600? It's literally impossible, because, it's once again, the pipe bug here is having its little fun. And the valve bug. So I need to switch all of these out and make sure that these aren't bugged, because the maximum flow rate out from these pipes should be 450 each, because that is the full production of one of those lines. Right? Noodle? Does noodle work? Noodle always works. Boom. Alright, so now I need to just go through and I need to fix all of this and make sure that like these needs to be filled up properly. Can't have this like messing around. And like as you can see, there's something going on because that's not supposed to be able to happen. The flow rate through this should be a maximum of 450. I need to fix that. And you need to make sure that these fill up rather than empty. This is really bad. You can see that the net gain here is like fluctuating up and down like crazy. So the input is very unstable for some reason. And I basically need to go through and fix all of that. Yeah, these pipes as well, like have the same problem here. I have the same problem, like every single place I have a pump or a valve or a junction, pretty much I need to go and fix all of this. That is the big problem that I need to fix. And yeah, on top, like outside of that, everything else works, everything else has been troubleshot. These are off because they're full. Like, it's not until they can pump something out that they start going again. So everything down here works the way they should. Everything here works the way they should. The train works the way they should. Everything is perfectly fine. The only part that I need to fix is the turbo fuel. So yeah, I am literally just trying to go through now and fix some of this stuff that is popping up that I'm seeing. And ultimately, I hope that everything will be running smooth and I won't have any problems. But I am going to do that after this episode. What I want to be clear about is that now, with this setup, no matter how you look at it, like even if it's running, like if it dips, like you can see there's some small dips here and there. And like even if that happens, we still have like 63,000 megawatts of available power. When everything is turned on, that's just a power. Let's go down here to this. If everything is turned on, if we look in here, we can have that over there. If I just go like this is everything that's normally turned on. What we then can see is our maximum consumption is about half of that, meaning that if we take everything in this world that we have already built, including the stuff that drains power here, we can double that, and that's when we need more power. So we have a lot more space to work with now, and I'm really looking forward to what we will do with that. And until next time, I will fix the problems with the Turbofuel output over here. And I've double checked the math. Everything here should be working the correct way. And yeah, like some of other people said in those comment section of that video, I don't need a junction here. That should be just a turn. The less junctions, the better. So yeah, I will go through and I will run through this with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that every single place here that could cause a problem has been taken care of. And I will do that all the way through, making sure that we are running 100% efficient. So yeah, I will be back in episode 19 with you guys, and at that point we're starting a whole new thing, right? Because now we've done this. So at that point we're actually going into aluminium processing, because now we have the power. Woohoo! We got the power! So we're gonna make some aluminium processing and start making all the aluminium products. And that means that we will go probably into, like, if I remember correctly, the recipes, aluminium. So we need to make aluminium scrap, which will be using if I remember correctly, sloppy alumina, which is this one, I think. No. Yeah, I don't remember which one we're using. I need to look that up specifically. Either way, we will be making aluminium, which needs alumina solution, which we will use sloppy alumina to make, which is this one. And that means that we just need bauxite and alumina solution. But it requires blenders and like all that kind of stuff, so I need to rack up a bunch of resources, because, like, let's just put it like this. In this factory, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like 60,000 concrete. I am running on empty with the concrete. There's probably like 7 or 8,000 motors in this factory. I am so out of motors, you have no idea. I'm running out of heavy modular frames. I've had to turn factories on and off in sequence to be able to run them, so that I get some of the stuff that I need to build this place. So yeah, I need to, while I'm fixing everything up, I need to be running the factories and stacking up a bunch of resources. But we will be back, and if you guys liked this new power plant and everything, it's what I've been building in the past 3 episodes for us to run the start of our end game level factories. And yeah, if you like it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends and family, like have like a family evening, like sit down and just watch me build this and being dumb. And we will see each other in episode 19. Bye!